Hello class, good day. How are you? I pray that you're in good condition even in the midst of this pandemic. Well, before you continue to watch our lesson for today, please download the module that I uploaded here in our FLMS. Fill in the blanks of information because it can be your references and notes for your future quizzes and quarterly exam. Now let's go to our topic for today, the reading and thinking strategies across text types. What is the importance of reading and thinking strategies across text types? Before I continue, let me ask you a question. When you read, is it important that the ideas in the text are connected to one another? Why? Please share your ideas and answer this question on your module. Let me share to you some important words in order for us to have a little background about our lesson for this week. The first one is reading. So what is reading for you? Reading is a decoding process. It is the breaking down of written codes. When you read, we use our eyes to receive written symbols like letters, punctuation marks, and spaces. Reading is also a comprehension process because we use our brain to convert them into words, sentences, paragraphs that communicate something to us. When we were still a kid, our parents, guardians, and relatives started to teach us with phonetics or speech sounds. They taught us how to read and write simple letters like A, E, I, O, U, and consonant letters like C, G, H, and so on. They also taught us with combination of letters like ba, be, bi, bo, bu, ka, ke, ki, koku, and then with three-letter words such as dog, bag, hat, and etc. They also taught us to construct simple sentences to combination of sentences or paragraphs. We were taught to connect ideas through words. Next word is text. What is a text? A text is a physical product. It is a written or printed in form. It is also made up of sentences, a connected discourse when we read. Examples of text are essays, books, road signs, a single proverbs, or quotation. Go back again to the question. When you read, is it important that the ideas in the text are connected to one another? Why? We need to have reading and thinking strategies because, according to Fisher and Frey 2008, as 21st century learners, you must be able to locate, understand, evaluate, and use written text for personal and academic purposes. You became a strategic reader if you establish a connection between the written text across text types and any form of text to your own knowledge and experience. So let's proceed to our final topic for this week. Under the reading and thinking strategies across text types, one of our strategies is the patterns of development. Patterns of development refers to strategies we can use to develop ideas. It will help you organize information to form a good paragraph depending on the purpose when beginning to write. It is helpful to determine the patterns of development that are most effective for your purpose and audience. Organizing your ideas help the audience to understand the story and message you want to convey. We will be discussing the first 5 patterns of development in writing. And these are generation, description, definition, exemplification, and classification. Then next week will be the cause and effect, comparison and contrast, persuasion, and problem and solution. The first pattern of development that I will be discussing to you is the narration. It came from the old French narration, which means account, statement, a relating, recounting, and narrating. Narration has a root word narrate, which means to tell. So when we say narration, it tells a story. And in reading or telling a story, there's always the 4WH or the four wives and a husband, the who, what, where, when, and how. In narrative paragraph, the point of view is always in the first person. You are the one who is telling the story. You are the storyteller. Narration paragraph usually written in chronological order. It should make a clear point. It should bring to life a moral lessons or ideas. These are the signal words we can use in narration paragraph. So we have once upon a time, before, immediately, finally, gradually, in the future, suddenly, then, earlier, formerly, shortly, until now, currently, at that time, later, now, meanwhile, afterward, at the same time, to begin with, subsequently, previously, eventually, and in the meantime. If you have in mind, you can add it to the list. Let's have this example of narration paragraph. Since bicycle is very popular nowadays, I got this from Google, from English 120 pbworks.com, entitles Pedaling on My Own by Falcon Fac 2005. So the main topic here is learning how to ride a bike for the first time. So let's read. Learning how to ride a bike for the first time was a nerve-wracking, independent moment. I was about 5 years old when my sister informed me that I was too old to still be riding a bike with training wheels. That was the time I decided not to depend on them anymore. Even though I have some doubt, my sister and I went outside and started to take the little wheels on my bike. After my bike went through the transformation, I was now ready for the big moment. With butterflies in my stomach, I slowly got on bike and with my shaky hands, I gripped the handles tightly. Meanwhile, my sister was holding on to me to keep my balance. I was so afraid that she would let go. Yet, I was determined to ride this bike on my own. Next, with a little push from her, I started to pedal. The faster my bike went, the faster my heart raced. Finally, I looked back nervously and noticed that my sister let go of my bike a long time ago. I was so excited that I accomplished freedom on my bike that I forgot to pedal. The next step I remember, I was lying on the ground, yet I did not care because of the adrenaline rush. I will never forget the exhilarating moment and growing up stage of riding a bike without training wheels. Wow, what a beautiful story. Maybe some of you can relate to this story. So let's try to identify the signal words being used in this paragraph. Let's have the first one, even though, next, after, and next, meanwhile, then, finally. Do we have still more? And the last one is the next. The main topic is learning how to ride a bike for the first time. Wow, a very, very nice story. So, let's have the next patterns of development. Description. Description basically provides details on the idea by using either a sensory or a spatial pattern. It appeals to readers' senses. It makes the readers see, hear, taste, smell, or feel the subject. Description paragraph uses precise language and sensory expressions to create vivid images of the subject, described by using adjectives, adverbs, and figurative expressions such as simile and metaphor. So, let's have an example of adjective. So, if we remember, adjective modifies nouns and pronouns. So, an example sentence is, the technician's toolbox is heavy. So, the adjective here is heavy, and it modifies the noun toolbox. Next is adverbs. When we say adverbs, it modifies adjectives, verbs, and another adverbs. So let's have this example. The very hardworking technician. The adverb here is very, and it modifies the word hardworking. So hardworking is an adjective. That's why very is an adverb, because it modifies the word hardworking, which is an adjective. Next is, the technician is working patiently. The adverb here is the word patiently, because it modifies the word working, which is an example of verb. So next is simile. When we say simile, it describes two persons or things using like and as. So usually, we can see the word like and as in the sentences. Example of this is, my bag is as heavy as a toolbox. So we have two things here, the bag and the toolbox. So the bag is being compared to a toolbox. Maybe the bag is as heavy as a toolbox. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is a direct comparison. So we omit the word like and as. So example of this is, your bag is a toolbox. So the bag is being compared to a toolbox. Maybe again, it is as heavy as a toolbox or as complete as a toolbox. Next one is, life is a battlefield. Life is being compared to a battlefield, because in life we have a lot of battles. There are challenges, problems, trials that we need to win. Okay? So let's proceed. Description paragraph has a concrete and specific details, which are carefully chosen by a writer to paint a picture in the mind of the reader. If a picture paints 1,000 words, in description paragraph, we paint a picture in the mind of the reader. Signal transition words of description. So we have this. Please read it on your own. Then fill in the blanks in your modules so that you can have the list of the signal words in description. Okay? Next is definition. So definition came from the word define. And when we say definition, it is simply the meaning of the word, or it explains what a term means. So we have signal words in definition. So these are is defined as defined, means to illustrate, refers to define. So there are types of definition. The first one is formal definition, informal definition, and definition paragraph. The formal definition includes three elements: a term, class, and the definition itself. A formal definition, you can see the meaning of it in the dictionary or other published materials. So the elements here are the term, the class, and the meaning or the differentiating features. And I have here example paragraphs. So let's have the first word. The first word or the first term is free. The class of this word is a part of speech, which is an adjective with a meaning of not costing any money. Example sentence, I got some BTS concert ticket for free. So maybe she or he got the ticket for free and she or he doesn't spend any amount of money. Free, not costing any money. Next, the class of the word free here is a part of speech which is an adverb with a meaning of not limited. Feel free to approach me if you have questions or clarification. You can approach a person anytime, anywhere, or any moment. Free, with a meaning not limited. Let's have the informal definition. Informal definition has four subtypes. So these are the etymology, operational definition, synonyms, and denotation and connotation. So etymology is the origin of the word, or where does the word originated. Example, philo is a Greek word which means love. Sophos is a Greek word which means wisdom. So that is the origin of the word philosophy, which means love of wisdom. Let's have the second example, a very popular word nowadays, pandemic. Pandemic came from the Greek word pan, which means all, and emos, which means people. So it came from the word pandemos and added to the suffix ic or ic from English. So that's it. We have the pandemic. So it's originated since mid-17th century. Let's have the synonyms. And I know that you are very familiar with this because a lot of time you are looking for the synonyms of a word for you to understand it. Synonyms is the other term with the same meaning. Let's have this first example. Lieu or instead. Some of you pronounce this word as liu. Lieu or instead. So it is lieu. Harris Memorial College required everyone to use Lark for video conferencing in lieu of Zoom or Google Meet. Lieu or instead. Next example, reprimand or remind. Do you have another word for this word? Do you have another synonyms for this word? Reprimand or remind. Will you please reprimand your classmates to join the video conferencing on Tuesday, September 1, 2020 at 8 o'clock in the morning? So the word you there is your. Will you please reprimand your classmates to join the video conferencing on Tuesday, September 1, 2020 at 8 o'clock in the morning? Reprimand or remind. The next one is the operational definition. From the word operational. Okay? Give the meaning of an abstract word for one particular time and place. So the meaning of the word will depend upon the usage or the context. Okay? Example number 1. I couldn't go out because I had to mind my baby brother. So what do you think is the meaning of the word mind based on the usage in that sentence? Let's have these choices. To be careful or cautious. The part of a brain is responsible for thought. To look after or tend. To make a decision. So what do you think is the correct answer? Correct. It is letter C. To look after or tend. I couldn't go out because I had to look after my baby brother. I couldn't go out because I had to tend my baby brother. How about this second example? Tanya was a rock throughout the pandemic. So, what do you think is the meaning of the word rock in that sentence? So, let us have these choices. A stone or a piece of mineral, a diamond, someone who is strong, stable, and dependable, a type of modern music. So, what is the answer? Letter C, correct. Tanya was a rock throughout the pandemic. Tanya was a strong, stable, and dependable up all throughout the pandemic. So see, the meaning of the word will depend upon the context or the usage. Okay? So, how about you? Can you think of other term that has different meaning based on the context? Can you note it in your modules? So let's have now the denotation and connotation. Denotation is the exact meaning or the literal meaning, which you can see these meanings usually in the dictionary or other published materials. While connotation is an idea or quality that a word makes you think in addition to its meaning. And usually you can define it based on your experiences. Example here is the sentence, she is childish. So when we define the word childish here based on denotation, so she is like a child. Very literal. But in connotation, when we say childish, she is immature. The third type of definition is the definition paragraph. Definition paragraph has main topic, and usually the main topic here is the term or the word. Definition paragraph has definition sentence, which is extended into a paragraph by adding meanings, descriptions, narrations, and other kinds of paragraph development to make clear. This is an example of this definition paragraph. The main topic here is the word anger. So anger is having a feeling of hatred towards someone or something. It is one of our basic emotions and can be most dangerous if it is not carefully controlled. A person can become angry when he cannot fulfill some basic needs or desire that is important to him. For example, a child may become angry when he cannot play outside with his friends. An adult may become angry when he does not receive a raise in pay that he expected. Mentally, anger can interfere with our thoughts, making it difficult to think clearly. So, the main topic here is the word anger. And we have the definition. The formal definition is having a feeling of hatred towards someone or something. It is one of our basic emotions and can be most dangerous if not carefully controlled. And some connotation here, a person can become angry when he cannot fulfill some basic needs or desire that is important to him. So we have here example. It gave an example. an example situation. A child may become angry when he cannot play outside with his friends. An adult may become angry when he does not receive a raise in pay that he expected. Mentally, anger can interfere with our thoughts, making it difficult to think clearly. See, when we extend the meaning of a word, it is very, very easy to understand. Okay? So let's have now the exemplification. It came from the word exemplify or example. It presents the general idea and then provides a specific and concrete example to expound the main idea. So the signal words here are the following. So again, if you have there in your mind additional words for that, you can list it down to your notes or modules. This is an example of exemplification paragraph. While the internet offers so many benefits to man, so that is the general idea there, it also has its downsides. One of these is phishing, which refers to the act of obtaining personal information such as passwords and credit card details through online means. Okay, if you observe there, so we have definition there, right? So what is the main topic there? The phishing. But we have the general idea, which is the while internet offers so many benefits to man, it also has its downside. And the main topic here is phishing. So we define phishing as the act of obtaining personal information such as passwords and credit card details through online means. In other words, phishing is a form of cybercrime. So let's have the next. As an example, so exemplification, we give example. Let us consider the case of Mr. X. He received an email stating that his Gmail account has been compromised, that he needed to click a link to update personal information. If Mr. X clicks on the link, his personal information will be illegally acquired by cyber criminals. So be careful, most especially now. While the internet offers so many benefits to man, so this is the general idea. So let's have the signal words being used in the sentence. One of this. What's the next? Such as. Very good. Next, in other words. Nice. And of course, the word as an example. Do we still have? As an example. So, no more? Well, let's have now the classification. Classification refers to sorting or arranging subjects into groups or categories according to their common or shared characteristics. It is so clearly define something and place it in a group according to some basis that fits in one group. The main topic or topic sentence controls the whole paragraph. So example of these are classifying of movies, popular TV shows by genre, disease based on mode of transmission, animals based on habitat. Let's have this example paragraph. Colors can mean a lot of things. It can influence our emotions, our actions, and the way we perceive. So the main topic here is colors. So red, the warmest of all colors, mean confidence, courage, and vitality. Yellow symbolizes wisdom, happiness, and intellectual energy. Pink symbolizes love and beauty. Green symbolizes life, fertility, and nature. Blue symbolizes youth, truth, and peace. As we can see, the main topic there is the colors. So the main topic controls the whole paragraph. Understood? Transition words are the first, second, third, The first kind, second kind, third kind. The first group, second group, the first category, second category can be classified, can be divided, can be categorized. Do you have still other words in mind? Then add it to your modules. Now, for your exercise, develop a 200-word paragraphs about your childhood days using the first 5 patterns of development. Again, develop a 200-word paragraph or paragraphs about your childhood days using the first 5 patterns of development. So here is the criteria. Of course, the content, 50% for organization. How will you organize your content? 20%. Language use or the appropriateness of the words, 15%. Your mechanics or the grammar, capitalization, and punctuation have 15% for a total of 100%. Submit it to me through document. Again, develop a 200-word paragraphs about your childhood days using the first 5 patterns of development. See you next meeting. God bless.